Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to day two of the Yanmar Summer Festival Rocket League playoffs. My name is Jeff, here with Mike, and well, we'll start things off with our two Japanese teams taking on each other on.
Yeah, we are here with our third place matchup. Both of these teams were unfortunately swept in their semifinal matchup, but the third place in this tournament is still in there for the prize pool. So they've still got stuff to play for here.
Yep, that's 75 USD and Rocket League currency on the line here for our third place matchup. Plus, a little bragging rights over, who's got the better Rocket League team. These two teams have faced each other earlier in the season. And, well, that was, yes, Tokyo taking a 3-0 victory in that one, ended up being your number one seed over Yanmar Mixed Japan. But, anything can happen. It's the beauty of playoffs. And I'm looking forward to getting this first match started.
Yeah, rematches are always an interesting thing to watch. See how the teams have adapted because now they know how each other play. So we'll see what sort of changes they make compared to the first time they came out. Could be a much closer match this time around.
Yeah, as I believe we do have a bracket where we can kind of show how our teams got to where they are today. Yes, Tokyo fell to ProNoobs in our semifinals match. A very close match. Games 2 and 3 both went into overtime, but ProNoobs able to come out on top on both of those occasions. Kept it close, and yes, Tokyo definitely had some good showings. HMD coming through with 3 goals on the day. Certainly a player we're going to be keeping our eye on heading into this third place matchup.
And then on the other side of things, YMJ losing their match against Los Betos, who had a very, very strong showing in the semifinals there. But YMJ impressed nonetheless, particularly being one of the few teams that didn't know each other before. All those players signed up individually, and despite that, have managed to find themselves in the third place matchup.
That's pretty phenomenal. The fact that they're just kind of random players who came together just to enjoy this event and have made it all the way to the third place match. Definitely worth tipping your hat towards, deserving of some respect out there. Imperial Lin, I think, was the strongest of YMJ, and we'll be looking forward to keep HMD in check and see if they can lead YMJ to a victory here today and then get their hands on that prize money.
Yeah, and one thing that's nice about these two teams both being from the Japanese part of the company is we're not going to have to worry about latency as much as we saw in our previous matchups. All these matches will be able to be played on Japanese servers, so we'll get to see all these players playing at their optimal.
Yep, and then a little bit later on in the day, we will go on and see our grand finals between ProNoobs and Los Betas. But first things first, third place game, and we got to determine who's in third first, and then we'll see who ends up in first and second.
Yeah, it should be exciting stuff here. It's always fun to see these teams come together, especially in this sort of company competition aspect where some of these guys might be coworkers. They might see each other in the office. Maybe not so much because this is such an international tournament going on, but who knows? You might have a buddy that you can have bragging rights while you're passing by in the hallways.
Yeah, we had 18 different countries submit teams here for the Yanmar Summer Festival Rocket League tournament. So, there were a lot of gamers here within Yanmar worldwide. And it's been a really cool event to see. And just a quick recap, in case you missed yesterday, this is going to be a best of 5 series. So it will be 5-minute matches. Whoever is in the lead at the end of those 5 minutes will take that round. And first one to win 3 will win the series.
Mm-hmm. And if we come to the end of the 5 minutes and things are still tied up, that means we will be going to overtime. Clock keeps ticking until we reach somebody scoring a goal. And those are always exciting to watch.
Yeah, overtime's my favorite part. You can just kind of feel the tension in the air rise a notch once you get into those overtime periods, because it's golden goal time. There's no opportunity to equalize. First one to score wins it.
Mm-hmm. And we saw a couple of those in the semifinal matchup of Yes Tokyo versus ProNoobs. Both of those ended up going into ProNoobs. That they've had a lot of experience with overtime so far, and that locked themselves in spot in the finals. But Yes Tokyo has some experience with those. We'll see if we do end up with any overtimes. Maybe that experience will come out to give them the advantage. But we'll see how it goes in the matchup coming up soon here.
Yeah, and it's just kind of a different monster. Once you hit overtime, it's kind of like a playoff team. Some teams just step up with any competition. Some teams rise under the pressure. Some teams crumble, and overtime is when we really get to see that. Not sure if we'll see a whole lot of that here between these two matches. Certainly, if history is going to repeat itself. But you know what? I'm not counting YMJ out. They've surprised us throughout the entire tournament. I wouldn't doubt if they have more surprises in store.
Yeah, and yes, Tokyo as well. They went undefeated up until their semifinal match. They are certainly a force to be reckoned with. And we've seen them beat YMJ once before in the regional part of this tournament. So I'm sure they're going to be looking to do that again. And we saw in their semifinal match, they are very strong at those high-flying plays, especially HMD going for some air dribbles, putting some twirls in there, just displaying some masterful mechanical skill.
Right. I mean, Rocket League, it's all about positioning. It's a 3-on-3 scenario. You don't have any set goal minder. So if the ball gets back behind your defense, then it can be really dangerous for your team. And yes, Tokyo, they're really good at taking advantage of that. If yes, Tokyo sees an opening in the defense, they see an opportunity to move forward and put pressure towards the net. They're very good at seizing that opportunity and converting that into shots, converting that into goals. So really the name of the game here for YMJ today is just to keep them contained, to keep, yes, Tokyo from finding those breakout moments and from really running away with this thing. If they can keep them under control in that regard and stay on top of good positioning, particularly defensively, YMJ will really stand a good chance here today.
Yeah, and it looks like we have the match good to go. Transitioning to it here, we're just 15 seconds in, no goals on the board yet, but already getting some shots for, yes, Tokyo here.
That's HMD. That's the player we talked about. Their top scorer yesterday. And, first thing we see on the screen is pretty apropos. And, yes, Tokyo moving in, driving on the goal early and put a lot of pressure down. Imperial Lin, though, with a good clear. This is going to go off the backboard, bounce up in the air. Could be an opportunity. First player can't get to it. Pio Kinran can't get a hold of it. A dangerous ball that's going back into the orange half.
Yeah, putting pressure on right away. And almost a goal for Imperial Lin. They're just going off to the side. He'll want to have that one back, and they might have an opportunity here.
That was a nice dump and chase there from YMJ. They're able to boot it all the way down and gets pressure in. They got to be careful. Dodged a bullet on that one as Pepe wasn't quite able to make contact on that driving shot towards the net. Nice touch, and Imperial Lin is going to put it back down towards the midfield. You got two YMJ players, and neither of them wanted to touch the ball, apparently. Bars is just going to come over, bounce it back out, try to create some room here for Yes Tokyo to work as our teams battle it out for possession right along midfield. YMJ temporarily coming away with it. It's going to be a 2v1 towards the 50, and YMJ get the touch. Bounce going towards the net, in the net. Imperial Lin will break the stalemate.
Oh, that's sometimes just the way it goes in Rocket League. Unfortunate for Yes Tokyo there. Very fortunate for YMJ. Two players came against the ball at the same time in what we like to call a 50-50, and that one just ends up bouncing its way towards an empty net.
Fortunate turn of events, and this is exactly the start that YMJ wanted. Have to be considered the underdogs here, considering the result last time these two faced off. But, we're almost 2 minutes in, and it's YMJ who have our only goal on the board. Nice move from HMD. Able to get over one. A bit of a battle in the corner here. Imperial Lin walks away with control. HMD with the challenge. Bounces it back towards the orange net. Good defensive move from Chrono Fighter, and it's going right back the other way.
Yeah, and we had talked previously about how important positioning is here in Rocket League. And that's one of the reasons why we were so impressed with how far YMJ has gotten into this tournament. Those who might play online or might think, oh, I play with random players all the time. But at this level of play, and knowing how your teammates play and that sort of consistency is so important. So that's why we're so impressed with YMJ coming in, effectively playing with randoms into this tournament.
And I feel like we've watched him get better just from what little sample size we've had of seeing YMJ play, as the ball is just dancing in front of Yes Tokyo's net. Breathing a sigh of relief as HMD finally gets it out of there. That was a hairy few moments there for Yes Tokyo. Do not want to go down 2-0. Chrono Fighter looking to do just that. Nice shot into the corner. Chrono Fighter gets one on the board. YMJ up 2.
I'm not sure how the ball didn't go in at first there when it was just bouncing around in front of the net, but YMJ still collected up anyways. Chrono Fighter with just a beautiful shot from the midfield there.
Quite the start here for YMJ. And momentum is such a huge factor in Rocket League, and the confidence already bolstered here for Yanmar Mixed Japan. They know they can score goals against this Yes Tokyo squad that is a little bit more organized, for lack of a better term, and been playing together, you know, a little bit more synergy there. And then you've got the star power at HMD. And we knew Yes Tokyo weren't going to be kept down long, and HMD able to answer back, keep Yes Tokyo within one.
Yeah, that mental game is especially important for YMJ here because they have already lost to Tokyo previously in the season. But Yes Tokyo don't want to let YMJ get too far ahead with this. Oh, just a miss there from Pio there, nearly bringing his team back up to.
Yeah, Pio Kinneran was just trying to find that angle. It was a tight turn and couldn't quite get the angle plus to the ball in time. Bars with a nice little touch will keep things out of the goal for now. Pio with another look at it. Bounces off the bar. Another good touch. Eventually the defense able to find a little room here. Yes, Tokyo hangs on through another onslaught. 70 seconds left on the clock. All three players from Yes Tokyo way back into their zone. HMD is going to find the clear. Push it towards the orange net. Around the wall it goes. Both defensive players from YMJ are there to push it out. Nice move from Imperial Lin. Looking towards an empty net. That might just be the nail in the coffin as Imperial Lin finds their second of the game.
Oh yes, Tokyo committed all of their resources to trying to tie the game. But when the ball doesn't end up in the net, that means that all your players are now out of position, and Imperial Lin saw the opportunity and took it from across the field.
You can't fault Yes Tokyo for being aggressive. Under a minute down one, they're trying to just put everything they can on the front line in an effort to tie the game up. Unfortunately, like I said, they do leave a little bit of a hole there in the defense, and one that YMJ and Imperial Lin are able to capitalize on. 38 seconds left. HMD, huge shot going towards the net and keeping Yes Tokyo within striking distance. This one from midfield, up in the air. HMD, look at this maneuver. What a shot. We'll see that one in the highlight reel.
That was fantastic recorrection in the air from HMD to make sure his car was on the correct side of the ball to get that angled back towards the net when his momentum was facing the other direction. Fantastic job to bring his team within one goal in the final 30 seconds.
YMJ wins that face-off. Great save. HMD keeping Yes Tokyo in this game. Bars with the touch, driving towards the net, has one to beat and can't quite do it. YMJ sends it back to the outside. HMD passes it back towards the middle, gets past both defenders into the corner and goes. Desperately needs that boost. That's 100 speed, but what a defensive clear towards the net. In the net, Chrono Fighter from end to end. And that is going to end Yes Tokyo's hopes of winning game one.
Oh, HMD had a right idea with trying to make a back pass there to one of his teammates. However, the defender from YMJ saw that one coming and actually took advantage of it, turning it into a shot for him.
Not just a shot, but a goal to put Yes Tokyo away. And your favorites to win this match are already down 0-1 here in our third place matchup.
Yeah, that's a bit of a crazy turn of events. Not what we were expecting, but some consistent play from Yanmar there. We saw how many times the ball was just floating, sitting right in front of Yes Tokyo's net, painfully not bouncing its way in. But that's just a sign of how much pressure Yanmar Mixed Japan was putting onto Yes Tokyo. The fact that they were creating those situations where Yes Tokyo was just scrambling, trying to keep the ball out of their net is a testament to their offensive capabilities.
And the amount of possession they had, it was 8-5 in shots favoring YMJ. That resulted in the 4-2 scoreline. Just great work coming out of a team that has never really played together coming into this playoff tournament. So it's a heck of a start indeed. And now YMJ are one step closer to getting that third place.
Mm-hmm. And we saw multiple of those goals coming from long shots across the field for both sides of the pitch there. So we'll have to see some defensive adjustments made. Perhaps getting some more communication on who's taking the shots when and who's going to be in the back line to try to shut down those long shots from just trickling their way into the net.
And, Mike, we were emphasizing the importance of positioning. And yes, Tokyo kind of left their defense open on a couple of occasions there, something that we'll want to see them kind of tighten up as this game goes on, to improve rotations so that they've always got one of their 3 players waiting for that deep ball in a position to intercept and not give up those easy goals.
Yeah, I think the player assigned to defense in that situation, if there were multiple goals that if they had just decided to turn around 1 second sooner, they would have been in position to make that save. So if they make those adjustments, I think we have ourselves a much closer match in game 2.
Bars almost had one early out of the gate. It was a great save there from YMJ to keep it at 0-0 in the first 30 seconds of game number 2. Just remind us, this is a best of 5, so first team to pick up 3 will take the series. Another dangerous situation. Bar's able to get back in time on that one. Otherwise, YMJ would have broken the seal here for game 2 and gotten another first goal. Up in the air, dangerous shot, kind of bounces out into the corner. The follow-up, though, is gonna go wide as YMJ had a golden opportunity and couldn't quite put it home.
Oh, that's a tough read to try to make. Oh, speaking of tough reads, HMD getting a nice shot there. But yeah, the shot from YMJ coming off of the corner between the ceiling and the wall, that can be very unpredictable.
HMD gonna punt it down into the corner. Nice shot, nice pass as Pepe breaks it open on this one. YMJ caught flat-footed. Look at these, you'll see all 3 blue cars are behind the defense. There's nobody from YMJ in sight. Just a bit of a misread there from Yanmar Mixed Japan. And yes, Tokyo are there to capitalize.
HMD did a good job getting another little extra touch there to beat out the 1 defender that was left in position. And that will make the difference in giving his team the lead here.
Shot from up high from HMD will make it past the defense. And that is a quick 2 back-to-back there from yes, Tokyo. Because Imperial Lin was down low. Pio Kinren cannot get back in time. Oh, man. Yes, Tokyo, we're starting to fire it up.
Yep, they have found their stride here, taking advantage of a clear being sent down the middle of the field rather than the more optimal off to the side there. And HMD will take that one every day of the week.
And yes, Tokyo are wasting 0 time going back on the attack. They're already getting aggressive. Imperial Lin boots it all the way back towards the blue net. HMD is going to scoop that thing up, push it into the corner, leave it for Bars, and rotate back towards the defense. Here comes YMJ, see if they can do anything with it. Imperial Lin, that shot's going to go up off the wall. Right up high, HMD is going to chase it and just push it all the way down so it doesn't land dangerously in front of the blue net. Bars with the touch, gets a bit turned around, just kind of putting it down into the corner. Small clear, HMD gets a piece of it off the top crossbar. HMD looking for the follow-up, drops it back. Bars can't get a hold of it. It's still slow rolling in front of the net. Finally, YMJ clears it out of there.
Oh, that was painful. HMD trying to get the lightest touch possible to just make it trickle into the net, but it was still too light. Just not managing to put enough momentum on the ball to make that trickle in, and nobody was there for the follow while it sat on the line.
Yeah, some good saves on both ends of the pitch. Imperial Lin gonna bounce off the wall into the middle. HMD reads that one, charges at the opponent, and will not give up any easy shots this time. Now driving back the other way. Another good defensive play. HMD is gonna 180 and try to wrestle control of this ball. Actually opts to just leave it and go into a more defensive pose. Comes in. Big touch, sent back from Imperial Lin. Big clear, back towards the other side. Imperial Lin will put that one home. Chase their own ball all the way down. Watch this, you'll see Imperial Lin go up into the air, hit their own initial touch to make sure to get it around Pepe. They had no chance of the defense. YMJ gets one on the board.
The full court play there. Pepe forced to play in reverse, and there is nothing you can really do in that situation. If you're reversing while the ball's coming flying at you, that's a bad sign when you're on the defensive end there.
Yeah, trying to play catch up in Rocket League is just too fast for that. You're rarely going to get back in front of the ball. Oh, Barnes got rammed at the last second, and it ends up just slingshotting into the ball. Oh, you'll see the contact come in right there, and it actually makes it more difficult. More difficult for Kurono Fighter to read that shot. 3-1 to Yes Tokyo.
And that was a YMJ player that did the ramming there. You might see at other times where players will intentionally bump their teammates into the shot like that, referred to as a pull shot. But that was that was their own team. There you go. They redeemed themselves, getting a goal back.
Oh, YMJ would have been absolutely upset if they had to come back and, well, thanks to Imperial Lin, going to salvage that play because the goal opportunity was missed initially. But the rebound is there. YMJ stick with it, never giving up on the ball, and they're rewarded with a goal. HMD immediately answers back.
That was some prime shooting placement there, waiting for the ball to bounce off the ground to make sure he has the optimal power on it. And there was a player in net for YMJ, but it was such a powerful shot and so well placed. He wasn't able to make the save regardless of being in position.
Yeah, that was a highly accurate shot. Put it in that top right-hand corner. That was picturesque from HMD. And now only 60 seconds. Yes, Tokyo protecting a 2-0 lead here in game number 2. Looking to tie up our series thing. Hang on for the 60 seconds. Ball halfway in. Pepe gets it out, but knocks it right to Kurono Fighter. The rebound is good. YMJ, they've got within one.
Pepe at first coming out from inside of his own net to try to clear the ball out. Unfortunately, just puts it right on Kurono Fighter's nose to bring his team within one. And this is looking like a very familiar scoreline. Just flip the script for game number 2 compared to 1.
Oh no, the dreaded off the wall kickoff here. It just takes a bad bounce off of Imperial Lin, and it's at that perfect angle. Those are so difficult to defend against. It's coming in at such a strange angle off the wall. It might just be the lucky bounce Yes Tokyo needs to tie up our series.
Yeah, the kickoffs are always quite a hard thing to figure out where it's going to go. You never know how the bounce is going to come off the players when they collide at the ball at the same time, pinching it together. And in that case, the bounces went in favor of Yes Tokyo.
HMD is going to put another one in. That's 4 for HMD here at game number 2. And, well, YMJ got close, and then, Yes Tokyo, they were not happy about that. They were feeling a little uncomfortable. Decided to spread that lead back out a little bit. Now 6-3 with less than 30 seconds to go.
Yeah, and some people may tell you that a 1-goal lead is just as good as a 10-goal lead, but the mentality that you get from absolutely stomping your opponents in the last minute of the game is certainly a valuable thing coming into a best-of-5 series such as this.
Oh yeah, that momentum is crucial, particularly when the best-of-5 series is as close as it is right now. So we'll be going into a 1-1 scoreline heading into game number 3. And yes, Tokyo, they've got all the wind at their back. They have got a head full of steam right now. And where YMJ started off with that confidence early in the series, yes, Tokyo have stolen it right back. HMD with 4 goals on 8 shots. What a great game.
Yeah, and that felt like there was pretty even pressure from both sides there. Yes, Tokyo definitely had a little bit more going for them with 4 shots more than their opponents. But in general, it feels like both of these teams have themselves a shot at winning any situation in this series. It's been quite back and forth. Both teams have opportunities. Both teams have proven that they are a threat.
Well, we've got a great game on our hands, Mike. This is good stuff. I mean, it was all 3-0s yesterday in our semifinals, and right out of the gate, we're 2 games into this series, and these teams are looking very close. Both HMD and Imperial Lin are living up to the billing. Both have put up numerous goals, 4 for Imperial Lin so far on the day, 6 for HMD. This has been quite the back and forth. You love to see it.
Yeah, this matchup of these Japanese teams has been incredibly close. And you know that that's going to be a bit of a heart racer for the players. But for us, commentators and you all in the audience, that makes for some excellent gameplay to watch. So I'm glad all of y'all have decided to join us today to watch this incredible matchup.
Indeed, indeed, and yeah, I'm enjoying it thoroughly. Hopefully, y'all are as well, friends. And this, just a reminder: yes, Tokyo is your #1 seed coming out of the Japanese region. YMJ your #2 seed out of that same region. So there's a little bit of an inherent rivalry here to decide who will be the best Yanmar Rocket League team in Japan.
Yeah, and that the Japan is the core of where Yanmar started. So even more a little bit of bragging rights there, perhaps in the offices and whatnot. But we are now into game number 3, and we will see who gets themselves onto match point here in this best of 5.
Oh, yes, Tokyo.
3 games.
Yes, Tokyo committed so heavily on that attack, left themselves open. They're still haven't quite recovered. Fortunately, able to get into the play just enough to kind of disrupt YMJ and not allow an opening goal here for Yanmar Mix Japan. It was some dangerous moments there for Yes Tokyo for about 30 seconds. And honestly, they really still haven't gotten possession back. They're going to kind of just tap it into the corner. There we go, over the midfield line, but YMG is right there with the clear, chasing it down. Imperial Lin charging towards the net, bounce it out, using the wall. Got to create a pass, but it doesn't go to the intended target. Push back into the corner. YMJ still putting offensive pressure down. Hyokenrin into the corner with it, grabs the big boost, so they've got 100 boost of speed, which is fortunate, because now they're racing back toward the defensive end. As Yes Tokyo looking to try to put something together.
Yeah, and we see the value of solid rotations and positional play from YMJ early on there, and now from Yes Tokyo. Having that man in the back line always in position to stop a clear, just as HMD did there, means you have yourself opportunities to score goals just like that.
Oh, and what a crazy acute angle that HMD was working with, and off the wall, no less. Another fantastic goal coming from the lead scorer of Yes Tokyo.
Yeah, and there on the kickoff, we saw some interesting strategies come out. It looks like both players from Yes Tokyo decide to slow down before hitting the ball. It hasn't turned out for them immediately, but definitely interesting strategies to see here.
HMD trying to push it to the outside, but the ball gets intercepted. Bouncing into the warning zone. Corona Fighter comes up to challenge. Trying to keep the ball in the corner, looking for somebody in the middle. Hyokenrin had moved to the outside, and it made for a difficult shot as they had to go course correct back to the middle. Still deep in blue territory, though. YMJ are continuing to try to mount some pressure, see if they can get this one goal back. HMD is going to run away with it, though. Has Imperial Lin to beat defensively. Imperial Lin grabbed the speed, so HMD can't have it. Little touch off the wall, pass misses, and YMJ comes screaming back down the other direction. Hyokenrin gets the ball stolen away. HMD takes to the sky, showing off some acrobatic skills up high. Gets the touch over Imperial Lin. Goes past Corona Fire and will roll into the net. HMD with their second goal in Game 3.
Yeah, just that consistent pressure from HMD, making the smart decisions of keeping the ball close to his car rather than just sending it downfield. Means that he's able to get the second touch follow-up faster than the defenders are able to react. And that'll give his team a 2-goal lead.
Relatively low scoring Game 3 here so far. And YMJ is certainly still in this, especially if they can get something off of that. That was a beautiful pass. Corona Fire trying to make it happen. Defensive Yes Tokyo standing tall so far. Kind of a self-pass back in towards the net. Ball up in the air. Imperial Lin can't quite get to it in time. Pepe charging through, bounces it off the wall. Bars is going to take a shot. That one's off the mark. Imperial Lin chasing it to the outside, looking to beat HMD along the wall. Turns into a bit of a tussle, and one that YMJ is going to lose, unfortunately, as the ball goes back in front of the orange net. Pepe's shot is deflected, and it's going to bounce all the way back towards the blue half, rather.
Yeah, we're seeing a little bit of a change in mindset for strategy from these teams, and as I try to talk about that, HMD just coming off the wall and doing what he does best, scoring goals on the net before the defenders are ready for it.
Wall upside down, mind you. You know,
yes.
Just gotta have the axles pointed at the sky, you know, just for some style points there from HMD.
Indeed, but as I was mentioning before, it seems YMJ is attempting to make some passing plays here. That's something that we see as the premier strategy in the top levels of Rocket League. Trying to get midfield passes going is always a way to throw your defenders off, but also just sending the ball downfield really, really fast is a good way to do it too, apparently.
You know, sometimes you just get a lucky break. This ball dances that outside line. You can see the faint white line that goes all the way down the pitch. That is on the edge of the goalpost, and that ball just danced along that line all the way down and stayed on the right part of it as both teams kind of whiff on the face-off a little bit, but HMD does it. HMD drives right from the middle of the field all the way down into the YMJ net.
That was quite the kickoff there. Both players trying to position themselves to stop each other's hit, but in doing so, neither of them actually touched it, and HMD just gets a ball teed up for him in the midfield.
That is goal number 10 for HMD on the day, which double checking notes here, but it is more than any single player had yesterday. Yes, Creepy Zeus from ProNoobs had 9 yesterday, but nobody broke the double-digit mark. So a hallmark goal there for HMD.
And we still have more series left to go. We're going to have at least one more game after this one, so he can continue padding his stats in the record books here.
Oh, there's another one. No, that one's going to go a little bit wide. HMD almost had it. It was a really tight shot, difficult shot to make. Unfortunately, goes a little bit wide. Fortunate for HMD, that is. YMJ happy to keep it at least within 3. It won't be enough for them to come back here in this game, but it's enough to keep their mental solid. You know, and if you're YMJ, you just got to shake this one off. GG, go next, as they say, and try to bring this thing back in game number 4.
Yep, they are going to be in do-or-die situations there. Almost getting a consolation one at the end, but being down to match point against them, YMJ is going to have to bring in some strong mental fortitude to not get too nervous and start slipping up as a result.
Oh my goodness, look at that. 4 goals on 5 shots this time around for HMD. Fun fact, I've got some stats for you here, Mike. HMD has more goals than the entirety of YMJ so far this series.
I mean, that just shows the dominance of HMD there. The entire factor of HMD being on the field has been a dominant force of Yes Tokyo. And also credit to the other players. They have been doing a fantastic job of supporting HMD, being in the back line, and really letting HMD do what he does best, taking that offensive role.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a really important point to make because it's certainly not a one-player effort. HMD may be the one who's getting all the glory and getting all the points there in the scoreboard at the end. But you can't do that without having good teammates around you and having good trust within the team. You know that everybody is going to be there to do their job and do what's best for the team overall as a whole, and in turn they trust HMD to get in there and make the goals happen when Yes Tokyo needs it most.
Yeah, and we will see how these teams make adjustments accordingly into game number 4 here. What is YMJ going to do to try to shut down HMD here? Are they going to perhaps just keep an eye on him throughout the whole game, or perhaps they could start going for some physical plays and physically remove him from the field? Because if you don't, this is going to happen. 10 seconds in, HMD already has himself a goal.
Oh, Imperial Lin tried to go for the challenge, but was just a step behind, just a half car length behind that at HMD. I love how we just cut to both of those players back and forth. Even the in-game director, the AI controlling our camera, knows that this is the HMD versus Imperial Lin battle right now. And Imperial Lin answers 1 apiece here for our 2 teams at game 4.
Oh, yeah, it has been a cinematic match to be sure. HMD gets the first one, and Imperial Lin won't let that one slide. And just 11 seconds later, we have ourselves a tie game.
Yeah, just in case Yes Tokyo thought it was getting too easy, don't relax. YMJ are still here and on the job. They are not going to let you walk away with this 75 USD and Rocket League pricing for free. As a matter of fact, Imperial Lid's going to make you work for it, as that's their second in a row.
Yep, just a little touch there from Pio off the wall, getting it over to Imperial Lin, who put it nicely in the bottom right corner of the net, just outside of the reach of the defenders.
This has been a high-scoring 35 seconds. What a turnaround the last game. It took a couple minutes for the teams to start opening up the goals, but they are lighting them up here fast and furious in game 4. Imperial Lin with another shot, looking to get a hat trick in the first minute. Can't quite make it happen. Bounces back out towards midfield as Pepe's going to put one on. Imperial Lin able to work both into the pitch with a big save there. HMD with a shot. That one a little wide. Imperial Lin gets a piece of it. Chrono Fire trying to find the clear. Imperial Lin is actually the one to come back and boot it down the pitch. Battle around midfield. Goes into HMD's favor. Nice touch from Imperial Lin. That kept the ball from bouncing out towards the middle. Really good defensive play from Imperial Lin.
Yeah, that's one of the most crucial parts of Rocket League. Not just the offense, but making sure that when you're on the defense, you're not putting the ball directly to your opponents. We've seen that earlier in this series where a clear from YMJ just ended up going right to the nose of HMD, and it spells a goal against almost every time.
Yeah, impeccable control from Imperial Lin so far here in game number 4. Oh, right in front of the net. Pepe reads it, comes screaming across to slam that one home and tie us up here in this game.
Yeah, one of the classic plays in the Rocket League playbook. HMD putting that ball around the backboard, ringing around the corner there, and Pepe is up in the air, scoring over top of all of the defenders from YMJ.
An absolute picturesque center. HMD proving that they are not a selfish player. Can get assists, can get shots, can, make magic happen from all the way across the pitch. It's HMD, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, and this is heartbreaking for Imperial Lin there. I don't know if y'all saw it at first, but that ball did hit the crossbar and went out until Imperial Lin jumped up to try to make the save and accidentally put it in his own net to bring us a Yes Tokyo lead.
3-2 with 3 minutes remaining. Oh, Imperial Lin is going to be mad if that is the deciding goal. I want to see him get a little bit mad. I want to see Imperial Lin get determined and see what they can do. See if they can turn it up to the next level here. We know this player's got some chops. Oh, it's a good move on the inside. Ball right in front of the net. Both players from YMJ go too high. They're not able to finish it off. Now HMD's coming back the other way, threatening the orange net once again. Ball right in front. Imperial Lin maintains composure. Drives it down. HMD in front of the net. HMD is going to make that save. Good stop there from Pio Kenren. But it's HMD who comes away with the ball. And now looking at an empty orange net through the sky. Finds it home. 4-2. Yes, Tokyo.
Oh, we had ourselves quite the cinematic moment there when Imperial Lin was coming on the 1v1 versus HMD. HMD made the save and immediately returns the favor, picking up boost, going off the wall, and getting an expert level air dribble to get his team an extended lead.
That is a hat trick for HMD. That's 3 hat tricks in a row for that player. Currently sitting at 13 goals total, but Imperial Lin, not to be outdone, comes in and puts up a hat trick of their own. That's 3 for YMJ, all courtesy of Imperial Lin.
Oh, and that's our second own goal we see in this game, this time on the side of Yes Tokyo. Though, to the credit of the defender from Yes Tokyo, that ball just shot out from a pinch and landed on his car, so there wasn't a whole lot that could be done about that, but it still shakes the mental.
Which can be a difference maker here in games that are as tight as this one. Nice pass to Bars. Bars can't quite get it. Oh no, I don't think even Bars knew what HMD was wanting to do on that one. HMD with the last second decision to pass it over to a wide open Bars. Now in front of Yes Tokyo's net. Bars trying to play defensively. Both players are missing on that ball. HMD knocks it out of there. Pepe going towards the middle. Imperial Lin steals it out of the corner. Double demo coming through from YMJ. They need to put some pressure on now before the spawns come through. In front of the net goes the ball. Nobody can make contact. Imperial Lin has to go back and rotate defensively to protect against this now what is a 1v2 and does hold on. YMJ, they're still in this one.
Now we've seen a couple times here, HMD, mostly known for his individual plays, but has been getting passing over to his other teammates, which did result in one goal earlier. And that could be a difference maker in this game, is if he brings his teammates into the play along with his own offensive prowess, we could see it be much more of a runaway in the, actually, if we have any following games. Yes, Tokyo is looking to actually close out the series right here. If they win it in these 30 seconds, they will be taking away the prize pool.
Oh, that would certainly put the dagger in. Pepe opts to go for the right-hand side, doesn't even take the shot. Just trying to hold on to the ball and burn this clock down. Corona Fighter steals it. YMJ are going all in. There's a demo in front of the net. There's another demo in return, and Corona Fighter is no longer there to finish off the empty net. A big shot back towards 5 seconds on the net. HMD trying to come away with it. Imperial Wind finds the steal. The ball hits the ground, and the clock drains down. Yes, Tokyo hang on in a nail-biter of a game 4. They will take third place over YMJ. A wonderful series highlighted by some fantastic players. Yes, Tokyo come away with it in the end.
Well, that final moment of that game was so incredibly intense. The physical plays, a demo from Yanmar Esports Japan to set up the ball to be rolling into the net, and then a demo from Yes Tokyo in return, stopping the shot. And that will result in Yes Tokyo taking the win there. Some clutch plays from all of the players from Yes Tokyo there to give themselves the third place in our Yanmar Summer Festival Tournament.
Unbelievable finish. Absolutely unbelievable. The demo on the defenseman, the goal wide open. I thought they had it. I thought YMJ, they had the tying goal just sitting there on a tee, waiting to be just knocked home. And no, it was not meant to be. Yes, Tokyo able to hang on and come through with the biggest clutch demo I have ever seen at the end of that game. That was incredible.
Yeah, HMD put in work that series. Really, the MVP for an MVP performance to be remembered for all time in Rocket League. That was an incredible job from him, taking his team all the way to victory here with some stellar offensive performance, as well as big defensive saves on the goal line as well.
And fantastic assists to boot. HMD really has the whole package. Definitely something that Yes Tokyo can be proud of, and well, everybody at Yanmar can be proud of. It's what a fun event, what a great game. That's 13 goals total for HMD on the day. So not bad, not too shabby, not too shabby. But hey, we are not done. That is just one of our 2 matches we have in store for you, friends. We're going to take a little intermission, get set up. But when we come back, it's your grand finals between ProNoobs and Los Betas. We'll see you back here in a minute. All right, friends, it is time for our final match of the Yanmar Summer Festival Rocket League playoffs. We're headed into the grand finals, and it's Jeff and Mike back here to guide you through our final match. It's going to be between ProNoobs, your number one team coming out of the United States, taking on Los Betas, your number one team coming out of the European region.
Yeah, everything comes down to this. 18 countries, multiple weeks of regional play, and rounds of playoffs has brought us to this point, the finals between a top NA and top EU squad.
Yep, it's all down to these two teams. And, well, the Turkish squad of Los Betas have looked very dominant throughout the entirety of our playoffs. Lots of goals, and everybody on this team is a threat on the pitch. There's not just one player that you've got to look out for, or you got to make sure doesn't get breakaway goals and really put her down. It's all three players from Los Betas are incredibly potent on the pitch. It's going to be Vendas, Bombalak, and Lil Mako starting us off for Los Betas.
Yeah, and not only are each individual member of that team dangerous, they, as a unit, have a dominant pressure on the pitch. They all have strong communication. They know where each other are at, and they make great use of it. And then on the other side of things, we have ProNoobs coming in, and that is Creepy, Generation, and Red Plate, all each very strong members in their own right.
Yeah, Creepy Zeus or Creepy Boy. We've seen the player use both name tags. Very potent, very strong scorer is going to be the name to keep an eye on here in today's matchup for ProNoobs. If the Americans want to take this thing, they've got to give Creepy Zeus some room to work and the ability to get in front of the net and put some shots on.
Yeah, he is certainly a star scorer, and we saw how well that worked for Yes Tokyo in the previous match that we just watched in the third place. And so if the ProNoob squad is able to set up Creepy just as well as Yes Tokyo set up HMD, we could see a victory for the Americas team.
It's going to be a great game anyway. You slice it. This is what it's all about. I love grand finals. It feels just like the culmination of something special. And this has been an amazing event. And now it is time to crown a grand champion.
And here we go, getting into the match. Let's see who wins this best of 5 for the finals for $300 in Rocket League currency. Who will come out on top?
Well, it's Los Betas already on the back foot early here in game number 1. And ProNoobs trying to keep that on. Generation doing a good job of keeping the ball into that blue half so that this offense can develop. Bombalak over the top is going to push it down into the corner. A little Mako challenge by Creepy Zeus, and the ball kind of spat out towards the middle. Creepy Zeus is able to chase it down. Vindus comes across and pushes it back towards Orange Net. Generation with a good challenge, and the ball just pitches out towards the outside. Big clear here for ProNoobs, but it doesn't last. Immediately the ball comes shooting right back at them, and Los Betas with a good strong start, not really able to convert into much, but some good pressure in the orange half, and they've got the ball again already.
And we can see the skill level on the pitch here. We haven't seen anything massively crazy mechanical. However, just how fast these players are touching this ball. And that was an excellent display of skill there coming out from ProNoobs, getting a nice redirect off the wall.
Yeah, that was Creepy Zeus there. The player we talked about just gets that incredible shot. What a difficult angle. Making that one look easy. 1-0 to ProNoobs. Start things off here the first minute of game 1. Little Mako challenging Red Plate. Red Plate just kind of getting bullied out there, just getting knocked every which way. Nice touch from Creepy Zeus. Gonna push it back down the pitch. Little Mako. Look at that quick turnaround. Able to send it into the corner. And it's just going to back off, grab some resources, grab some speed, and poise themselves here to put up a good defense, see if they convert into a good offense.
Los Betas has been focusing on putting the ball into the ProNoobs corner, looking to get a centering pass out from the corner. They haven't managed to make it work so far, but it is a tried and tested strategy in Rocket League. And so we expect they'll probably get some conversion out of that anytime ProNoobs slips up on their defense.
It was a nice little backflip we saw there from Generation. Keep things going. Now Generation able to take a shot. Well, Nako with a great challenge, just gets right in their grill. Nothing easy here for Generation or the rest of ProNoobs on the attack. They look to pad their goal, or pad their lead, rather. Generation heading back down towards the blue half. Lil Nako's going to beat him to the ball. It's a battle up in the air, bit of a dogfight, and Vindus comes in to help out a little bit. Pushes it back down into the corner, past everybody. Generation finally gets a piece of it. Bumbleot comes in, pushes it back towards the orange corner. Creepy versus Nako. Creepy able to find a little bit of room to work, but doesn't last long. Battle for possession favoring ProNoobs at the moment as the ball goes up into the air, pinches up in front of the net. Both defenders from Los Betas up to get a hold of it, but here comes Creepy Zeus over the top to increase the lead to 2.
Small miscommunication spelling disaster for Los Betas there. You saw both players on defense jump up for the first ball, and that left no one in position for when it slipped out of their possession. And that is an easy goal for Creepy to put away.
A testament just from the pressure that ProNoobs was putting on. I felt like everybody had to jump up and get a hold of that ball, desperately trying to keep it out of the net, and yeah, left it wide open indeed. A classic double commit, as we like to call it in Rocket League. You're putting 2/3 of your players into the sky, out of position, can't defend against a follow-up shot. Creepy Zeus following the ball into the corner right now. Nice little move, gets around one, but can't get past Bombalok. Nako comes in, just kind of put it towards the orange half. Follows up, stays with it, looking for the near post. It's sealed shut, no room to work. ProNoobs heading back on the attack.
Yeah, they've been doing a good job of keeping the ball, even if it's in their zone, out of the most dangerous positions. ProNoobs keeping the ball to the corner, even when Los Betas have possession.
Nice pass from Nako right in the middle. Bombalok is going to go up high with it. Nako with another shot. A huge save from Creepy Zeus. That was a tough defense to make. Generation off the conversion comes through with a transition goal. Beautiful defense turns into beautiful offense for ProNoobs.
And with less than a minute on the clock, ProNoobs are up 3 in the first game of this finals, looking to start things off strong and dominant, making sure they have the best opportunity they can possibly have to win this finals.
Oh man, and shutting out Los Betas here in game 1 would be quite the statement. And what a way to kick off the grand finals. Vindus, the red plate to beat, can't quite do it. False, along the wall, Bombalok gets a hold of it. Generation's gonna knock it out, 17 seconds on the clock, and it's going into the blue half. Creepy Zeus chasing it down versus Bombalok in the corner. Both fighting hard for possession. Generation is the one who gets the touch, and I'll put it back into the corner. And Los Betas can't even get out of their own zone. They can barely get off their own wall, and it's going to be a 3-0 victory here for ProNoobs in game number 1.
Yep, the best defense is a strong offense. The other team can't really score if they're kept in their own zone for the entirety of the game there. There was some offensive pressure, of course, coming out from Los Betas, but none of it ever converted into a goal, despite some close opportunities, whereas ProNoobs took advantage of the opportunities they had.
Oh, man, and that's Los Betas getting shut out in game 1. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I would never have put that in my bingo card, Mike. That is an incredible start for ProNoobs.
Especially after Los Betas' performance in the semifinals. They had a dominant performance back there, scoring, I believe they had at least one double-digit game in their best of 3. But here we go, moving on to game number 2 of this best of 5.
Oh, Generation with a slick move. Had some real estate. Bombalok stands firm. Just laid on the brakes and stopped in the way and not let Generation pass. Battle in the air. Creepy Zeus gets enough of it. Generation pushes it back down. I think was hoping to make that pass over to Creepy Zeus, but didn't quite land where they wanted. So, well, ProNoobs gonna have to go on the defense. A little bit of a miss there from Vindus. Allows room for ProNoobs to work, but still can't find a hole to clear it. Bombalok's gonna put a shot on. The lob shot goes over, and Los Betas finally get one on the board.
Yep, they have broken the goose egg, gotten themselves on the board, as you said, and it was just a nice light touch from Bombalak, making sure that one stayed under the crossbar, yet over the defenders. Some excellent placement to get his team a lead in game number 2 here.
Oh, just that finesse, and there's Nako with more of it. 2 quick goals for Los Betas. They were not happy about getting shut out.
Indeed, bringing things back right away, making sure the momentum stays, or it comes back into their favor, rather, after dropping game number 1. They have wasted no time whatsoever taking dominance in this one.
Bombalak's looking to put up a third and nails it. Oh my. Los Betos definitely screaming in with a vengeance, rising from the ashes of game 1 and have put up just as many goals in barely 70 seconds as ProNoobs did in the entirety of game 1.
Yeah, they've just been putting on the pressure, putting balls to the net, as they do again here. That one's saved. But at the end of the day, more shots will often result in more goals. And they have certainly taken that one to heart, just peppering the ProNoobs net in game number 2.
And you can kind of see that confidence turn into speed. Los Betas are playing a lot faster here in game 2. They've upped the tempo and are forcing ProNoobs to try to respond. And either slow it back down to the tempo that ProNoobs like, a little bit more controlled, or just suffer the consequences, which so far it's been the latter, which has resulted in a 3-0 lead here. We're not even halfway through game 2. Bombalak down into the corner right now with Creepy Zeus to beat. Nice little touch. He's going to put it over. Has a player in the middle. All 3 defenders from ProNoobs going over to that near post side to try to wall it off and not allow any room to work. So Nako goes over the top. That was a heck of a shot. ProNoobs just barely able to get in front of it. Creepy Zeus trying to get it out of there. Great tenacity, and will eventually drive into the blue half.
Yeah, little Nako there did a good job to keep the ball away from Creepy Zeus, stopping him from getting a dribble play onto the Betos net. Making sure you shut down the ace player from the other team. In this case, Creepy Zeus is vital to stopping the offensive push from ProNoobs. If you're able to frustrate that ace scorer, then you can perhaps shut down the entire team just on the principle of being able to stop their top player.
Yeah, and Creepy Zeus is certainly falling quiet here in this one. They've done a good job of it thus far. Back into the corner. It's Creepy Zeus once again. Bombalak sticks it up. Stands tall, follows the ball in, but didn't have any boost to work with, so lets that one go. Falls back for a defensive posture. Generation gets beat to the ball by Little Nako and Bombalak, both going up for that one. Red plate into the corner, but it goes right to Vindus. Vindus tries to put one on. Creepy Zeus is there with just a booming clear. Try to get some room for ProNoobs to find some resources and reset a little bit. The Los Betas are keeping this pressure on, and they score another one.
We see the value of solid positioning, both in a positive aspect and negative aspect there from ProNoobs in quick succession. At first, Creepy Zeus was in position to stop a clear from Los Betas, but then the follow-up didn't have anyone in the back, and Los Betas found themselves an open net to shoot at. They're just keeping the pressure on this American team.
Yeah, I think ProNoobs thought they had a little bit more time to get set than they did. Los Betas keeping this pace nice and brisk.
Yeah, they have put on every ounce of pressure they can on the American team, ProNoobs. Just following up every ball as fast as possible and making sure that they do not have any time to breathe, and it results in another goal. Los Betas go up 5 with under a minute.
That one coming from Vindus. And that was just a bit of ProNoobs investing heavily in their aggression and left nobody deep protecting the net. Which, can't fault any team for. Once you're under a minute, you're down. You got to just throw everything and go full send, as we like to say. But unfortunately, it does not work out for ProNoobs in this one. We're going to head to game 3, tied up here in our grand finals. This is what you like to see, Mike. This is 2 teams just giving it all, leave it all on the pitch. And, well, we're going to be deadlocked here after 2.
Yeah, both teams have shut each other out now at this point. I may be speaking a little too soon, but considering the ball's in the ProNoobs end at the last seconds here, yes, indeed. that will be a shutout for each side, which is a surprising turn of events. That really shows how much momentum can shift in these sort of series. Starting off with ProNoobs taking game number 1 3-0, and now Las Betas a 5-0 is quite the shift to see. What do you think changed up there for Las Betas?
It was all about tempo. Las Betas absolutely just cranked that tempo up to 11 there in game 2. And ProNoobs didn't seem to be able to keep up. At the times that they wanted to clear some space, slow things down, and try to regain their composure and try to reset their defense, Las Betas wouldn't let them. Las Betas simply would not give them an inch. And now it is up to ProNoobs to answer. Las Betas had to answer after game 1, and they did so emphatically. Now we have to see if the American squad of ProNoobs can respond in kind.
Yeah, the confidence really showed through for Las Betas, and just that, all that pressure that they were able to put on really stifled ProNoobs. And we'll see if they are able to bring that same mentality into game number 3.
Over the top, Creepy Zeus looking for one. Great defensive play. Just sticking with Creepy Zeus, and didn't give him that double tap, looking for a second bounce off the back wall to try to redirect it towards the goal. Creepy Zeus is just going to take a shot from deep in front of the net. Gets it. Beautiful play from Creepy Zeus. 1-0 to ProNoobs. That's that answer we were looking for. That's the response from the American squad.
And those are so hard to save from a defensive aspect. When the ball goes off the backboard, your camera in-game is pointed straight upwards, but a return from Las Betas already, just seconds later.
Yeah, the Turkish team not to be outdone. Las Betas immediately equalize. And that's a lot of ones on your screen right now. 1-1 in game 3 with our series tied 1-1, only 40 seconds in.
Yeah, we have ourselves a close and exciting match here for our finals. See a little bit of physical play there from Las Betas, demoing a goalie in the net. Unfortunately for them, the pass never came out, so it didn't make a difference, but just putting the thought in the back of ProNoobs' head that they are never safe standing still could throw off both confidence and positioning for the American squad.
Nice move from Creepy Zeus! What a steal! What a goal!
Speaking of confidence, Creepy Zeus coming out with some mechanical plays there, catching the ball right in front of the net, giving a little flick to give his team a lead.
Oh, that was spectacular work. And ProNoobs, they're not letting off the gas. Little Nako, though, that was out of the air. Bubblelock's going to try to take one as well. That one is well high and outside. Creepy Zeus looking for the clear. Has 2 players in the middle to contend with. Make it 3. Gets around 2 of them. Pushes it in. Creepy Zeus with a hat trick in game 3.
The masterful plays there. Just every time someone from the other team touched the ball, Creepy Zeus was there to send it right back the other direction immediately, shutting down every player from Las Betas there and bouncing that ball towards the net at the end of it. An expert play.
What wonderful detail from Creepy Zeus. The decision making on exactly where to place the car and snake around all of the defenders. So anytime a defender made contact, Creepy Zeus was in the perfect position to keep the ball going exactly where they wanted it to. That was phenomenal. Over the top, Nako looking for one here the other way. Bombalock is going to get a piece of it, but it spits out sideways and right at midfield along the wall. Generation come through and just kind of gives it a little love tap. Sends it back down towards the blue net. Sticking with it a 1v2 here in this corner. Creepy Zeus coming in for some reinforcements, trying to bounce it off the wall. Bobblelock is going to intercept that one and not let that offensive play develop. Red plate comes in across the top, looking for something, but there's none to be found.
Now Las Betas on the offense after having a significant amount of shots put against them there. They're going to try to transition out into some offense of their own. They need to get 2 goals back in 2 minutes here to keep ProNoobs from taking, getting themselves into a match point situation.
And ProNoobs and I mean, Creepy Zeus in particular have done a really good job of slowing play back down. They really do like this more meticulous style of Rocket League. And you can tell by the possession. Whenever ProNoobs has the ball, they like to make these little short plays. They do a lot of dribbling and just hold the ball on the car. Don't get as much of the big booming clears and the long passes. It's a lot more short work coming from ProNoobs, and they've successfully kind of set the pace here in game number 3, something they were not able to do in game 2.
Yeah, it's an interesting clash of styles between a team who likes to play at the speed of light from Las Vegas versus a team who likes to slow things down and calculate each play. Depending on which team has their possession and their strategy
that could
coming
go
into fruition. Oh, save from Lil Nako there. Depending on which team manages to get their style of play to go through, it can really upset the other team, just forcing them to play in a very uncomfortable way.
Oh. That was unfortunate. That was just ProNoobs trying to play their style and dribble the ball out. Unfortunately, through the air, that is often quite difficult to do. And the ball drops right in front of the net. But here we go. ProNoobs not to be outdone. They're able to answer right back. It's 4-2. Less than 1 minute to go with game number 3.
Yeah, that was just a nice little close to the ground air dribble play from Creepy Zeus. Only flying about a couple feet off the ground there, but it was enough to get him an extra touch to beat the defenders.
Then just off the wall, past Lil Nako. Lil Nako's going to try to bounce it off. Creepy Zeus was there. Nice move from Generation. Reads that one perfectly. Otherwise, that'd have been very dangerous here at the 30-second mark. Los Betas dribbling along the wall. Nako grabs the big boost so he can take to the sky. Plenty of speed to work with. Ball drops in front of the net. Red Plate just dodged out of the way of that one. That was almost an own goal. Red Plate turns at the last moment to avoid that ball. Little Nako looking for an attack, trying to equalize with only 10 seconds remaining. The defense not budging here from ProNoobs. Vindus gets bumped off of track. Cannot stay online there with the ball, and it's going to be ProNoobs taking game number 3. We have got ourselves quite a series here, Mike.
Yeah, back and forth we go. That was an intense match all the way through, going back and forth, seeing the different styles of play clashing, teams trying to figure out what sort of strategies will work to beat each other's defense. And it was a tight one the whole way through.
It really was. I love the back and forth. I love the idea of, all right, we get to answer. Now, what do you got? And then we see Los Betas come through, put up 5 unanswered. And then they're like, all right, your turn, ProNoobs. ProNoobs comes back in and they're like, oh, well, we've got more in the tank. Like, we ain't done. So guess what? Now it's Los Betas' turn. Now it's Los Betas' turns to show up and see if they can get the pace of this game back the way they want it, get that hyper speed going on the pitch, and keep ProNoobs off balance.
Yeah, they really just have to send themselves at everything, every ball that comes their way, every ball that comes ProNoobs' way. They just got to put every ounce of pressure on they can. But they still need to have somebody on defense, make sure they don't over aggress on the play and leave themselves vulnerable.
Defense, schmeefense. Defense, they can't. Your opponents can't score if they can't get the ball. All right, that's all I'm saying. That's if ProNoobs doesn't give up possession, then they don't need to play defense. It's that easy, right?
That is a fair point.
Not a strategy I'd recommend, friends. I'm joking around as much as anything here. But you know what? There's a smidge of truth into that, and that's just that ProNoobs right now they're living in the blue half, but Vindus with a big clear. We like seeing these here from Los Betas, and that is why they're able to utilize those big clears beautifully. 1-0, Vindus breaking us open on the scoring here in Game 4.
Doing the whole play himself, getting the block on the back line, and then following it up after it went off the backboard. Right to his nose, and there's nothing the ProNoobs defense could do about a shot of that caliber.
I think Creepy Zeus was hoping Generation was going to come up for that pass. Creepy Zeus leading the charge on the front line. Gets a touch, lets it bounce off a little Nako, and now comes in for the follow-up, going through the skies. Able to work in close. Here comes Generation and Red Plate. Nobody can make contact. Vindus with a look at the goal. Creepy Zeus is able to get in front of it. Ball bounces up, and it's still in front of the net. Little Nako trying to put it on. Generation right there for the save. Now Creepy Zeus carrying it through the skies back towards the blue half. Does run into Bumblelock, who, of course, has switched cars on us, so that's, you know, fun.
Yeah, he's rocking the Fennec here, and actually, I think that is everyone from the Las Betas team rocking the Fennec. Well, the cars don't have a massive amount of difference between them, just a little bit of hitbox depending on which car you're using. I think a lot of that is players will use a change of car as a mental switch up. When they feel like they need just something to change, they might change their car, and just the placebo effect of feeling like something's a little bit different. Maybe they just like the Fennec's hitbox a little bit more. That might make the difference for them here.
Well, whatever they're doing, it's working. As Bumblelock's able to get goal number 2 here for Los Betas off of a long clear. And we've seen this time and time again, those big booming clears from Los Betas seem to really get behind ProNoobs, and ProNoobs doesn't wrangle them in well. And it's left them open once again, this time for a 2-0 lead in game number 4. ProNoobs hoping they can close the deal here in game 4 and take the championship, but so far they have yet to get a goal in.
Yeah, the ProNoob squad might have to start playing with a bit of a wider rotation than they are used to, making sure that somebody is in the back line at all times to cover up these long distance plays coming from Las Betas.
Bumblelock taken into the corner. Nice little touch. Pass over to Little Nako. Little Nako's shot goes high. Vindus is going to follow up on that one. Beautiful rotations as everybody from Los Betas getting involved in that play. Nice defensive move from Vindus. That pushes it away from the goal. Creepy Zeus gets beat to the ball. Bumblelock charging back down the other side. Nice move to work towards the outside, leaving it for Vindus, but Creepy Zeus is all over it. Reads that play. Bumblelock with no boost comes and steals it. Generation goes flying by, comes back and gets the demo.
That was fantastic from Bumblelock there. As I like to say, boost is a mindset. Just positioning himself intimidatingly enough in front of the ball that everyone from ProNoobs thought he had it, and a continuation of that play is going to lead to a goal here for Las Betas.
And that was just Las Betas not giving up on that play. You know, plan A didn't quite work, so they go to plan B. That doesn't quite work out, but they recognize the ball is still precariously in front of the orange net. They stick with it. Bumblelock comes through with goal number 3. 75 seconds on the clock, and Los Betas in a prime position to send us to game 5.
Yep, we are looking at the most intense situation possible. Game 5 finals is looking potential here. Creepy Zeus trying to shut things down here. 3 goals in 1 minute is a big ask, but we have seen it done before. Perhaps not in this tournament, but in Rocket League in general. And this quick save there from Las Betas will try to shut down that dream as much as they can.
Yeah, I think Vindus was like falling out of the sky backwards and still managed to get in front of that ball. That was amazing. Now Vindus trying to put it home. I believe we're on with Bumblelock at the moment. Ball goes past as ProNoobs look for their first goal of game 4. They would need 2 more after that, so this is becoming pretty dire and looking more and more likely to send us to that final deciding game 5.
Yep, and that is where the nerves really come into play. We're going to see an extra goal here for Las Betas coming in at the end, trying to get the mentality in their favor as much as possible. But game 5 in the finals is as intense as it gets, and we could see that affect the play of the players, whether that be positively or negatively, with the nerves shaking them up.
Bumblelock with a hat trick after this final goal. Goal number 5 there, right at the buzzer. Fun fact, got some more stats for you, Mike. You know I like my stats. So everybody from Los Betas getting in on the action, everybody getting a goal there in game number 4, with Bumbleack coming away with 3, each of the other 2 players getting 1. Same thing happened in game number 2. The other game that Los Betas won, all 3 players are getting in on the scoring. That's when they're at their most dangerous. And when we start seeing everybody involved and everybody from Los Betas rotating like that, where somebody is always in the mix, always in the play, that's when Los Betas are really scary.
Yeah, and we had mentioned at the beginning of the match that this is a team that positions themselves together very well, and each member is a part of a machine, and that machine churns out goals. And we saw that come together here, and if they can keep that team play aspect and the consistent rotations into their gameplay, we could see them come out as the tournament champions. But of course, ProNoobs are going to try to mess with that as much as they can.
It's gone back and forth historically. This should be ProNoobs to win, but you know, that's just statistically. That's in the 1-to-1-to-1. ProNoobs have won all the odd games. Los Betas with the even, but let's just throw all that out the window. It's 2-2, game 5, grand finals. Anybody can take this.
Yeah, and we almost saw Creepy Zeus open things up right away, and he's going for another one. He's got a little bit of boost to work with.
Oh!
Little Nako nearly got the save, but not enough.
That was incredible. Little Nako saw it coming, got in front of it, and just couldn't quite get enough of that ball. What a way to start off this game 5.
Yeah, ProNoobs are putting on the pressure early. They want to bring this in their favor as fast as possible. And they know what they have to do against this Los Betas team now. Creepy Zeus playing high and fast.
And more stats for you. Game 2 and 4, which ProNoobs lost. They got shut out both of those games. They were not able to score in either of the games that where they were on the losing side of. Well, they have already made a statement here in game 5. They will not be shut out here and are in command of this final deciding game here to take the grand finals. Nice move to start things off here for Bumbleack. Down to Little Nako. Little Nako trying to work through all 3 defenders. Creepy Zeus bravely choosing to charge across the pitch. Gets away with it as the ball bounces back towards the blue half. Little Nako is going to try to drive back in towards the orange side. Everybody from ProNoobs kind of on this left-hand side of the pitch. And now a cross pass going the other way. They're able to move across and get in front of that ball, but the defense from ProNoobs is starting to get spread out. They've had to use a lot of resources to do so. Still, they've managed to hang on and not give Los Betas anything easy thus far.
Yeah, when you have that sort of offensive pressure that Los Betas has been putting on the ProNoobs, and eventually you start running out of resources as the defensive players, and that will lead to a goal for Los Betas. Just keeping the ProNoobs team on the back foot and never letting them settle and get comfortable.
Nako comes up with a goal for the 4th game in a row, and this one, the most important of the tournament yet, the tying goal in game 5 of our grand finals. And now Los Betas going back on the attack, seeing an opportunity. It's Vindes taken to the sky. Generation comes through with the intercepted, and just like that, the ball is back towards the blue net. Creepy Zeus rotating backwards as Generation comes forward to push the ball towards the net, both of which are going to try to double team to keep the ball in the zone. Creepy Zeus drives through, manages to work past one, although a bit precariously, and eventually Vindes is going to find the clear. Over to Little Nako in the sky. Off the backboard, the follow-up touch, not there. Another shot coming through. This one a little weak and on the outside, pushed into the corner as the defense from ProNoobs is trying to hold on. Red plate will force that one out after protecting the post. Pass towards the middle. Vindes, shot gets blocked. Red plate there to force it into the corner. The defense from ProNoobs holding on. We'll see for how much longer. Creepy Zeus needs to find a clear and does manage to do so.
Yeah, the Los Betas team was getting dangerous there. We can see they're starting to get the passing plays to link together, which are very difficult plays to make happen. However, they will reward anyone that makes them consistent. Getting that ball to bounce around the field between your own players is by far the least predictable and most powerful way to score your goals.
Yeah, much akin to traditional soccer. If you can start spreading out your defense and making them guess with some solid passing play, it really opens things up for scoring opportunities. And Los Betos are doing that exceptionally well right now. Oh, here we go, Venus on the attack. Red plate with an aggressive challenge, and it pays off here for ProNoobs. Ball push to the other side, Los Betos trying to keep it out of ProNoobs' hands. ProNoobs, they're content to sit back and play defense for a moment. 50 seconds on the clock. We're less than a minute to go, and Los Betos score the go-ahead goal.
Oh, that is a heartbreaker. There was a man on defense, but it was too fast for him to reach. He was just out of position for it, and now Los Betos trying to follow up another one. We have 40 seconds on the clock, and ProNoobs need to get a goal to tie this one up. Will they be able to bring it together with such short amount of time?
ProNoobs had the lead. They started us off with the opening goal here in game number 5, but it's been 2 unanswered from Los Betos, and they're driving to get another one. Big play from Creepy Zeus. They're going to push it back down towards the outside. 20 seconds on the clock. Barely any boost to work with and running into trouble. Creepy Zeus has to back up just to keep the ball in the zone. Nice pass from Bombalak. Will get it out of the blue half. 12 seconds remaining on the clock. Creepy Zeus screaming down. Booming clear. Gets past the defense. Creepy Zeus chasing it into the corner. 5 seconds. Lil Nico will push it all the way back down towards the orange half. That was just a pressure release valve that Los Betos needed to hang on and claim your grand finals. It went to the 5th and deciding game. But Los Betos, the Turkish team, number 1 in the European region, are now your number 1 worldwide. They will take your grand finals.
And a final game just as close as that entire series, coming down to the last minute of play. One strong shot off the wall, beating the defender, and that is the difference maker in game number 5 of the finals. Congratulations to Los Betos, taking the number 1 spot.
Wow, that was, I mean, I couldn't expect anything more, Mike. Like, that was as good as it gets. You go into game 5, it's back and forth, both teams showing us a lot of what they had in the tool chest, in the war chest, if you would. I mean, pulling out all the stops here. And, I mean, it took everything. It took both teams leaving everything on the pitch here today for one team to find the victory. Los Betos is that team. They will walk away with 300 USD and Rocket League currency. 150 to ProNoobs. They're not going away empty-handed. Second place is still worth some good customization for your Rocket League cars and everything goes along with it. And then we had Yes Tokyo coming in at 3rd after winning their match over YMJ.
Yep, congratulations to all of these teams. It has been fantastic watching everyone play here, seeing the progression of this tournament for the Yanmar Summer Festival. This has been an excellent event for the company to put on for their I was going to say for their players, but for their employees in this case. And it has been an excellent one to watch.
We do have a little bit of a bonus here for you. We've got an interview with our victors. So we had a moment to sit down and chat with Los Betos, all 3 of them, as a matter of fact. So we're going to go ahead and throw to that and get their thoughts on this tournament as a whole. All right. And we are here to do a little interview with our champions, Los Betos. Really excited to get this crew in there and get their thoughts on this tournament, Mike.
Yeah, it was an incredible time, and congratulations to this team for coming through all the weeks of this tournament and coming out on top at the end of our finals here.
Without further delay, let's pull them in. We have Vendas, Bombalak, and Lil Nico all on the line. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Congratulations on your victory.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Hello, everyone.
All right, guys, I got to ask, what did y'all think of the Yanmar Esports Tournament?
Well, I would like to speak first because I enjoyed the most from our team, I guess, because we are playing like for 2 or 3 years, but we couldn't attend any tournament, and it was a really big chance to see how we are doing in a tournament type of a competition. So we really enjoyed a lot. Thank you.
Yeah, and I would like to add that I actually got astonished about how everything's like working just fine, and too many teams have joined from all over the world, and like 18 countries were present in the tournament, I guess. So like it has been very surprising, and it had been a very great pleasure to be there. Of course, being a champion at the end of it had been pretty much honor for us.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah. It's been a pleasure to play with these all Yanmar employees in the same tournament, and we are happy to win. So I think we are looking forward for any other esports games. That's all.
Well, did y'all have a favorite part? What was your favorite moment from this tournament?
I think it was the finals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The final games had been the most competitive one that we have had. For sure. There are like tons of people are joining the tournament, and there are many skill levels that we have come across among the games that we have played. And while the excitement had gone up as we went on and on through the tournament. Of course, the opponents had been more difficult, and all of the games were much enjoyable, and they were very friendly between each other, and like everybody was just like, while you're in a tournament, they were just saying good shot, like perfect pass. To even their opponents with each other, and everybody is tanking with each other. You know, these usually Rocket League is one of the games that players can be kind of like toxic. So we have never seen any part of it in the whole tournament. So it has been great. But the final game, like we have played 5 games, and in the best of 5, so like there was we are winning 1 game, and the opponent is the ProNoobs. Pretty good shout out to them. They played perfectly. So like it had been very exciting, and our hearts just about to explode for the excitement for the whole time.
I also like
Ours
the
too.
group stage.
Yeah, I would like to add one match we had between the Yanmar Germany, I guess, in the European stage before the playoffs. That team was very challenging. I can't remember their team name, sorry about that, but that match was good as well.
Yeah, you guys had a very strong run there throughout the whole tournament. That finals was a certainly exciting one to watch. Very close match, but for a lot of the rest of it, you guys were dominant, and especially in that semifinals match, that was quite the impressive showing from you guys. So I'm curious, how long have you guys been playing Rocket League in general, and how long have you been playing together as a 3 squad?
It's been like 6 years, I guess.
6 years? That long?
Yeah.
I didn't count. Wow.
Bomba came later, but me and Lil Neko started 6 years ago together. We were living together.
He made me start that.
Yeah.
So we were waiting for the Overwatch game out, and when this make me start the game, and I'm addicted right now to this game.
Nice. That is a very long time that you guys have been playing together, and it shows with your consistency in your play and your passing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We also talk so much about the passing in the while we are playing. So it was like, so I'm in the middle, give me the pass. So Bomba like I'm returning when the score there. It was a really intense communication between us. So we try hard for the passing. It's also really enjoyable when you deliver the pass to point and your teammate takes a banger to a certain point of the net. I think it's the most satisfying thing in the Rocket League.
Yeah, and we all scream at the end of it, and when we see the goal, yeah, like let's happen, let's go.
Well, your hard work certainly paid off with all of your passing plays and that practice. It definitely paid off. Did did you see yourselves winning this whole thing? But when it started, did you picture yourselves as grand champions when it was going to be done?
Actually, yes. After 2 or 3 matches, we thought that we can win this tournament. And we won.
Personally, I'd like to speak on my behalf. Like, I wasn't thinking we are going to be champions, because like I've seen too many teams, too many countries, and like we are in Europe, and if you follow up the pro scene on the Rocket League, there is always like kind of a region-wise competition between NA and EU and the Asia on the other side. So there was like kind of an uncertain for us about our future. For myself, thinking about it, like I've seen too many Japanese teams, for example, and I've said like I've been known that the Japanese teams, Japanese players have been very like hardworking and consistent about all the games they were playing, like for example StarCraft and like
Right.
the Koreans, and so I thought if they are so good at this, like we will be in trouble. So, but it's worth trying. So.
Almost certainly was. That's the efforts were definitely rewarded. And I'm just going to go ahead and just follow this into our final question, or at least the final one we have prepared. But did you expect there? I mean, just talking about so many countries being represented here, did you expect there to be so many teams playing Rocket League here in the Yanmar Summer Festival?
Actually, I was not thinking about it, and I'm very surprised about the teams that joined. But European teams are, I think, the least teams was on the Europe stage.
Right.
But I'm really happy that a lot of people joined this tournament, and it's been a pleasure to play against with them. That's all.
Fantastic. Do you have any last shout outs you want to give before we close things out? You want to say hi to your parents or anything like that?
I would like to say my company, Yanmar Turkey Makina, to say maybe I can speak in Turkish, but I would like to pass it. And I'm glad that everybody was watching us, and everybody supported us. Yesterday, my teammates all watched our quarterfinal matches and semifinals, and they were happy about it. I would just like to thank all of them for supporting us.
Well, we can't thank you enough, gentlemen, for taking this time to speak with us, and we really appreciate it. And congratulations once again on winning the whole thing.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
You.
And thank you for your all support. It's been a great pleasure to play in this tournament. So thank you for contributions.
Y'all were a great pleasure to watch. So it's the feeling is mutual, my friend. The feeling is mutual.
Thank you.
All right. Well, that is going to do it for our interview. We appreciate everybody hanging out with us.
Yeah, thank you everyone for watching, and hopefully we'll have more tournaments like this coming in the future.
All right, and we're out of our interview close and right back into casting close here. Oh, the magic of editing is a wonderful thing. Oh, but with that said, a huge congratulations to our victors in Los Betas. I mean, what a fun tournament! What an awesome time! I mean, there's no better way than esports to bring a community together, to bring your company together across continents, across language barriers. Esports speaks no language. It's just the language of victory or defeat, and it's Los Betas who are celebrating that victory today.
Yeah, this is an excellent way for members of this company that spans the entire world to come together under one game and have themselves a good time, get to meet the members of other subsidiaries of the company and have a great time playing in this tournament and seeing who turns out on top.
And realizing that there's people worldwide who enjoy, this game like we do, and like you do as well. May not realize that there were people in 18 other countries who just enjoy playing some Rocket League with their friends, and it's a wonderful way to bring the company together. But that is going to do it. That brings us to the end of our Summer Festival Rocket League playoffs. And any final thoughts, Mike, over what we've seen over the past couple days?
Oh, wow. It's been fantastic to see the level of play from these players. Some of the players playing in this tournament hadn't even played Rocket League before the tournament began, and they have had a massive amount of improvement over the course of the regional play and then coming into the playoffs here. It's been inspiring to watch how much these players and these employees have come together and created teams to compete in this.
Yeah, well, a big shout out to all of our players and our teams for participating, for taking the time to be a part of this. I want to give a thank you to Rhino, our producer behind the scenes as well. Most of all, we appreciate y'all hanging out with us, enjoying something maybe new to you. Maybe you're familiar with Rocket League already. Either way, it doesn't damper our appreciation for you being here and just enjoying the games alongside Mike and myself. But that is it. We will bid y'all farewell. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we will see you next time.